Hello, my fellow gamers. This is Jay Dreamer with State 865. Today we're going to be going over Battlefield of Honor, and it is similar to Eden in the sense of you have to log in, log out of a separate map. We're going to go over how to play, how to score, and the phases of it, and we're just going to jump right into it. So here we go. All right, so like I said, you got to enter the game. I haven't been playing with my teammates lately, so I'm not set as a player, but I can go in and spectate. In order for you to enter the map, you have to have all your troops in castle. They can't be out gathering or even traveling. So you got to bring them in. So at that point, you can then enter the map. So I've entered Eden. You can zoom in, zoom out. It's best to hit this map. Like if you hit the big map, this is where we're starting. We're starting from our fortress, all right? And from our fortress, these are all the buildings that you have to get to, all right? This one in the center is the sanctuary. That is where the rune stone is produced. A rune stone is nothing more than an object that you need to collect. And in order to collect it, you have to be connected to it with territory. And you also have to be the first person to occupy that building when the rune stone's available for you to take it, all right? Once you have the runestone, then you have to travel to the relay, wait, then travel to the next relay. And once you do that, you get 7,000 points. So that's basically how the gist of the game is for the runestones. Now, for the other buildings, you have a hospital. So a hospital can be a building that you occupy. When you occupy it for the first time, you get both alliance points and personal points. There's a hospital. There's the command center. Now, what's important about the command center is when you occupy the command center, it is what allows you to generate teleports. So you want to quickly take control of the command center. It gives you 5 teleports for the alliance, and the longer you hold it, like every 2 minutes, it continues to give you additional teleports. So you want to take that quickly. You want to hold it, and you want to get those teleports. Now, there's a Fortress of Honor, which you can take and hold as an occupied. Now, you can also attack the enemy's fortresses and different buildings to take control of them. And when you do, you're actually taking away some of their points and taking away some of their powers. Man, I'm not seeing any crystals. It must be because I'm a spectator that they're not showing me the crystals. I apologize, but the crystal mines is where you want to gather crystals, help you get the ability to open up more territory. Getting all the way up into this area requires each individual square to have a watchtower. The watchtowers have to be built. Sacred crystals help you build those watchtowers. So right off the bat, get to gathering for sacred crystals. Also get the command center taken care of. Then from there, it's moving forward, moving as much territory as you can, as far as you can. If you can get up into the enemy area, you can take their fortress. You can actually destroy any castles that are outside in territory. And when you attack a castle, you get points for the amount of damage that you cause them. Now, inside BOH or Battlefield of Honor, you don't get damage or troop loss from what happens inside the battlefield. Everything that is done inside the battlefield is only done there. So when you exit out, you don't take those losses. You don't take the loss of stamina. All of it, basically, it's run separately, one from the other. All right, so as you can see now, our battle prep time is over, and these enemies are moving out. All right, they're going right after the outpost. Now there's sacred crystals. So they're going right after the sacred crystals so they can start gathering. All right, they're moving out here towards the command center. All right, so let's take a look at what our team's doing. All right, same goes. Our team, we've got people going right after gathering. We've got people going right after the outpost. We got people going to build the watchtower. Outpost, sacred. and command center. So pretty much right on par. So that's basically how you play is you occupy those buildings and the ruin stone. And as I was saying, how you make points. If you're the first alliance to occupy this, you get 150 points. If you're the first person to occupy it, you get additional 150 points. Now, the longer you hold it, the more it contributes in points. So you want to hold that as long as you can. You only get 2 legions when you are actually in the battlefield. You only get 2 legions at a time. So you send 1 to hold the command center, you send 1 to gathering. You're stuck. You can't do anything until those 2 troops are back. All right. Now, also, when you're going through the territories, the way teleports work is you can't move forward anywhere in the map unless you have the territory. And you can only teleport once that territory is completed. So as you can see here, it's 3 minutes to build. So if you throw troops to help build it, that will reduce in time, and then that will become an area that you can teleport to. So you just click on it, teleport to it, and then you can start from there. You want to build territory, so drop another watchtower, drop another watchtower, drop another watchtower, and until you get all the way to the sanctuary. That's where you're trying to get your territories to as fast as possible. All right. Points. So if you were to, can't really show you it until it comes open, and the reason why is phases. When you start the battlefield, there are 3 phases. The very first phase is, you have your sacred gathering, your sacred crystal mines. They come available. Your outposts come available. Your command centers come available. Those are the very first things that come available in phase 1. About, 6, maybe 7 minutes into the game, the hospital should become open. So building will be available in just under 2 minutes. All right. So phase 2 is opening up the additional buildings like the hospital and the arsenal. And when you open those up, as you can see here, you get alliance score of 300 points. You get a personal score of 200 points. And then you get occupational points for 100 points per minute that you hold it. And as you can see here, we have people coming to this building right here. All right. So they're now occupying that. And they're also garrisoning it, putting people inside of it to help protect it. All right. So we have people that are occupied and garrisoned. And this is the enemy that is coming to try and take our command center. So let's see what happens here. Okay. So. All right. So basically, they were strong. They kicked out one of the reinforcing troops, but the second one held. So they're now having to tuck tail back to home, and we still have control over it. We still have occupied it. Okay. So in addition to the hospital being phase 2, we also have the arsenal, and I'm going to assume. So the Fortress of Honor opens up. That's a good one. 750 points, 300 points, 250 occupational. I'm going to save that to the battlefield. Even though I'm a spectator, I can comment when I see something. So that's kind of cool. All right. The other thing about the relays, when you take the rune stone and you move it back to your relay, just like garrisoning other different buildings, the relay is probably the most important to garrison if your enemy is close or trying to attack it, because the relay stations are essential for you to be able to take from the sanctuary back to your fortress to get the points. And if someone has taken control over your relay station, you lose the rune stone. You can't progress any forward. You basically are stopped. And it's also a way of doing defense to keep somebody from taking the rune stone back to their fortress, is taking their relay stations. Okay? All right, so let's see where all these enemies are going. So they're going after this outpost right here. All right. So they're going to take that outpost, and they're going after this outpost. All right. So no one's there. No one's reinforcing. So the enemy has now taken the outpost because no one was there to protect it. All right. And now this person is trying to attack them to get them out, and they're going to have to battle pretty hard. Okay. The arsenal, there it is. All right. The arsenal, no one has taken it as of yet. So the arsenal is up for grabs for the first person to get there. All right. So let's take a look over here. They're pretty far away. I don't see any troops close. Still unoccupied. Let's go look over here. All right, so this guy, Nerdie Surge, is going to get there first. Okay. I told you guys it was there. If they get to it, that's major. All right, so this is their hospital. They've occupied their hospital. They're moving up. They have this arsenal too. So they took this arsenal, and we are trying to take. So we took this arsenal. Okay, perfect. All right, we are into the blue. They're not quite into the blue. Okay. All right, so as you can see, people have teleported up to get closer, because the closer you are, the faster your troops move. Now, your troops slow down during the battlefield war. Your scouting is twice as fast, but scouting doesn't really matter because it's all about attacking. So if you can move up closer to the buildings you want to occupy and get there first, you have the better chance of taking them. It's all about distance. So that is similar to how the Eden game, actually how ROCs are played. The closer you are to an object, and Eden, the closer you are to the object, the faster and more times you can hit it. Right, so now we've taken this Fortress of Honor. That's awesome. All right, Sacred Mines are being mined. All right, let's see on the map, see if these are changing color. Okay, so as you can see here, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, they're over top of a relay. They're about to hit a relay. That fortress is still open. What do we got over here? That mine's gone. All right, so now we see crystal mines. We see outposts, command centers, hospitals, arsenals, fortresses of honor. What is that? All right, not strong enough to take it. Let's continue to look. Well, that is the gist of the gameplay, and I believe we are coming up on seeing the rune stone. Let's see what time. So 3 minutes. We're going to log out, and the way you log out is you click this banner right here, and you exit the battleground. Okay. Now, as a spectator, I should be able to go back out and come back in. If I had been on the reserve players and I entered as a spectator, but there weren't enough members, so they weren't full at 20, I could come back in and enter as a player instead of a spectator if I had been on the list. What I want to show you real quick here is this little tutorial. Battlefield Honor tutorials, all right? Basically, on each side, we get a fortress. You put watchtowers down. You go all the way up to get the sanctuary. You also have Fortress of Honor outposts that are major sources of points. Occupy them and to obtain tons of points. And we went over all those outposts. You also get the arsenal, which increases your might and resistance. You also get the hospital, which increases your healing speed. You also have headquarters that will provide more teleports to your faction. So all the different outposts that are out there, you occupy them and they will give you more teleports. And sacred crystals will spawn randomly, and you gather sacred crystals. Sacred crystals can be used to build sentry towers. So you get your crystals, you get your outposts, that gives you your watchtowers and teleports. Okay? That is the gist of it. That is the game. Now, if you want more rules, go inside the rules, and it gives you a much greater breakdown of what everything is and how it's very specific, like how you can enter, how your R4 or R5 can set up the team. All that's in here. Gaining personal points, occupy a stronghold for the first time. Gather sacred crystals from the sacred crystal mine. Fight an enemy and gain points castled on the amount of combat power they lose, and successfully escort the runestone. Those are your ways of getting points. And at the sanctuary, when the sanctuary appears, the first person to attack the sanctuary gets the runestone. All right. So as you can see here, the runestone is moving, and it's moving our direction. So Mule got the runestone, and he is taking it to the relay station. All right. So at the relay station, once he's there, he has to sit and wait. I believe it's a minute, 60 seconds, before he can then go and occupy this relay station. So let's take a look. Ooh. So even though we've got the runestone, you can see they've got this arsenal. They've got this command center. We still have the hospital, but they have the Fortress of Honor. And they took this outpost. Those guys are they've extended themselves pretty far because they don't have any territory close. So they were just strong enough to take them. Let's see how our team's doing to take them back. So got that one back, got this one back. I'm sure we're going to get this one back in a sec. All right, that's Rex going after that. And as you can see, the occupation is increased. It's 566 to 787. So better balance. Let's see where the runestone is. So here comes the runestone. And there, everybody, see how everybody is trying to block or protect that relay? So as long as that relay stays ours, and we have enough reinforcements inside of it to protect the timer, meaning that when the runestone gets there and has to sit for a minute, as long as we can keep control of it for that minute, they will be able to then start moving back down towards this next relay. So let's see. Okay, so they've hit the relay. It stayed ours. There are 2 troops garrison in it, plus the relay, or 1 plus the relay. 50 seconds for it to hold, and they are sending more troops, so let's see if they take it. They're fighting. They're fighting. All right, so we have 3 troops garrisoning it, 4 troops garrisoning it. And each player can send 1 troop, only 1 troop to garrison per player. So right now we have a total of come on. We have a total of 5 people, 5 players garrisoning that. This is the most recent, and it goes this way. So, okay, you only have to get to the second relay. You don't have to get back to the fortress. So getting to the second relay got us 7,000 points. All right. So then once you get that done, you then wait for the next ruin stone, which will open up in 13 minutes. All right. Our points are 21. They're 21. We're close. And it's 37 minutes left of the game. Okay. So I think that's a pretty good understanding of BOH, Battlefield of Honor. Hopefully that was educational and you understand a little bit of how to play the game a little bit better. Like I said, there is no damage involved, so feel free to try it. Having 20 people on your team, even if you don't know how to play, being able just to go gather, that's helping your team tremendously. Go gather if you don't feel like you could do anything else. You know, if your troops are slow, send both your legions to gather. You know, you don't need to teleport anywhere. You don't need to battle castles. That's all stuff you can do if you want to, but you don't have to. The more you gather, the more points you earn, and the more you support your team. You know, if you have any questions, hit me up. Maybe I'll do a follow-up on some of the things that I didn't tell you in this video. All right, guys, enjoy your games. Share what you know. Share what you learn. Grow together and have an awesome experience. Peace.